There are these two problems, suffering and non-belief. It seems to me that God could kill two birds with one stone and make a big dent in both problems just by the simple act of showing everybody in the world clearly that he exists. This would reduce a lot of suffering. Why? Because if everybody in the world were to be perfectly clear that God does exist and that there is an afterlife, and perhaps also be aware of the truth of the gospel message, it seems to me there would be far less moral evil in the world than there is today. So that would make a big dent in the problem of suffering. He also could bring about the thing that he apparently most wants, fellowship with humanity. I find it incomprehensible that Dr. Craig should say that there's an optimal balance in the world between belief and non-belief. Wherever these non-Christians are, whether they're in Asia, I think they are mostly in Asia, but wherever they are, the fact of the matter is, you can look it up in the World Almanac, 2/3 of the world is non-Christian, and only 1/3 of the world is Christian. So how could that be an optimal balance between belief and non-belief? The non-Christians, according to Dr. Craig, are headed for eternal damnation. As for the ball and the pillow, he suggests that they might be eternal, but I don't see how the ball and pillow could be eternal given his arguments to the effect that there can't be an actual infinite. I would like to know why God did these three things. If he really has some reason for permitting all the non-belief in the world, why did he send out missionaries in the Great Commission? Why did he tell us that loving him is the greatest commandment that there is? Why did he empower the missionaries with miraculous healing powers? I mean, if he really wanted, it seems at that time he wanted the whole world to become believers. Why did he stop? Why didn't he continue with that? We need an explanation. Why did he permit the rise of Islam? I would suggest the best explanation is that God defined as a being who wants everybody to believe and has that as his top priority, doesn't exist. Now, as for morality, I agree that there are clear cases of morally wrong actions. But what that means is that we have apprehended certain moral truths. And how do we apprehend these moral truths? Well, we have genes. We have social conditioning that incline us towards certain moral judgments. It seems to me that that's all we need by way of explanation for the fact that practically everybody would say certain things are morally wrong and other things are not morally wrong in certain cases. Then there's a whole lot of disagreement as well. But it seems to me that we don't have to appeal to God to explain why people agree in their moral judgments. Now, as for the resurrection, I didn't get to say much about that. I don't agree that it's a historical fact. There are many things about Scripture that I find questionable. There are contradictions in the resurrection accounts. And if anybody would like examples of those, I could cite them during the question and answer period. And also, if you have any other question that I didn't get a chance to address during my talk, I would answer it then. It must be remembered that the Gospels were written at least 30 years after the crucifixion. In that time, rumors developed, and they could have been embellished. The people who wrote the Gospels were proselytizers. They wanted to win converts to a new religion. They weren't historians. They weren't perfectly objective and neutral. There would be a number of reasons why we shouldn't regard the resurrection as a historical fact. And it isn't regarded that way. If you look at any history book, you will find that it will say, well, these people believe in the resurrection, but certainly it's not stated as this is a historical fact. Well, as I said, if anybody has questions about other matters that I didn't get to, I would be glad to address them during the question and answer period. Thank you very much.